Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my update for September 2023. So what's happening this month? There is in BC the 2020 release of the Bordeaux coming up this month. So I'll do a number of videos on that this month. One video will be just a deep dive on the 2020 vintage in Bordeaux, and then subsequently I might do one on the 2022 vintage, which a lot of people are buying Entrepreneur at this point. There's two levels of release. There is a release that's coming up on between September 7th to 9th of the higher end wines where you can kind of reserve your allocation. So I would try to do a video of that prior to the release date, and then the big release of all the kind of more affordable wines is September 23rd, and we'll probably release that on that day. I've got a ton of videos that I've already recorded, so I'm not sure if we'll get to them this month. A couple of them that I've done. This is another value wine from the Lafite family, Paradis Casio, and it's from kind of the Entrepreneur region. It's a Bordeaux AOC, but again, love what Chateau Lafite is doing in terms of trying to make wines that are accessible to people so that they're not kind of priced out of the market, that there can be some product for everyone. I'm also doing a review on the 2008 Domaine Leflaive 2000 Batard Montrachet. Other reviews that I've planned for this month, I've got a trophy night review with that I drank a number of Chateau Margaux wines with my friends. I've got a review on the Dujac 2014 Maurice and Denis. A review on two interesting grape varietals, Caladoc and Marcelin, from one of the producers in the Provence region that I've reviewed their wines before, called Masteray. I'm also continuing this month a number of my shorts, kind of my two series that I'm doing. One is on how to improve the taste of any wine. I've done a couple of videos on that or before, and just continue with that. And then when I finish that short series, I'll probably do a full video on kind of my update or my review of all the shorts. And then likewise, I'm gonna have my cellar picks for each month. For people, I have two types of cellar picks. One is for kind of trophy wines over $100, and one for value wines that are under $40 Canadian here in BC. And if I'm going to try and do this for the next two and a half years, and hopefully by that time you would have been able to build quite a nice cellar with a good range of variety of kind of nice wines that you can drink over the long term. My shout outs this month are going to be for Le Spur and Sanjay Patel, which are long-term viewers. Really appreciate your support of the channel. In fact, I appreciate everyone's comments. That really, to me, it's really fun to interact with people and to know what they're doing, how they view wines and things like that. So for Le Spur and Sanjay, you are now eligible to join Trophy Wine Hunter Club. Again, if you send me an email at trophywinehunter@gmail.com, I'll give you the details of that. Free to join. It's really just a little club that just thanks longtime subscribers who comment a lot on my channel. Some upcoming videos I really want to do. I'm not sure I'm going to get to them this month, but I'll try to get them sometime this year. And these come from ideas from viewers, questions. It's like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. So one of the things I might do is do a kind of very quick overview of all the Bordeaux vintages from 1980 to now, and just a quick 30 seconds on each one and how I think they're drinking at this point. The other one I would like to do is on the Judgment of Paris. We kind of talk about this, it's very famous, but kind of the flaws of these type of tastings and how they can be skewed to the results that you want. So I can kind of go over that a little bit and my views on that. Every month I try to talk a little bit about wine and kind of wine wisdom or my thoughts on wine. So it's kind of, and I go back to this a lot about ratings, because people get really tied up in about ratings. And really, again, I keep on emphasizing this. I'm probably very long-winded about this, but it's really important concept for especially beginners to understand. Ratings are great when you start out because it gives you some type of context, but ratings are really for two things. One is to make you or to encourage you to buy. When they do a rating, really most wines that are rated very young when they are out in the market, and it's usually to entice you to buy. So, and you have to understand that that's the motivation for most ratings. There are people that re-rate wines, but that would be very few. So most of the ratings you'll see are wines that are currently being sold because that's how they get sold. The second reason for ratings is for collectors. And collectors, a lot of times at the auction market, and perhaps I'll do a more extensive review video on auction wines. And when people kind of say, oh, you know, this is a good value or I can make money on this, generally, most consumers don't really make money on wines. It makes you feel better that a wine now that you bought for $50 is now potentially worth $200. But there are kind of difficulties when you sell wine. And so generally, most people, that's more just justify your wine purchase, in my opinion. Most people, most consumers are not going to sell an appreciable amount of wine to make money or to make a living off of it. But there are people, retailers and big investors who do make wine, do make money on wine. And for those collectors and investors, these ratings are important because it's a commodity. And so they are no longer looking at the, you know, how much they enjoy the wine. It's more kind of more a basis of what generically people think of this wine. And those ratings generally help in that situation. So really, unless you are looking as a collector or investment collector, or you are, you know, in the wine trade, generally speaking, the ratings don't really mean that much to consumers because the most important thing is how a wine tastes. You don't really care that. And I really want to get people away from, you know, using that as an argument. You know, I have this all the time when I have comments and people say, well, the wine is, you know, 95 points, but Trophy, you didn't like it. It's like, well, who cares what someone else said? I can tell you what I drank and what I felt about the wine, and most importantly, I'd like to know what you thought about the wine. The rest of this video is for my viewers and subscribers in BC, where I go through all the deals, specials, sales in BC liquor stores this month and what's new. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking. Here's what's new and on sale at BC liquor stores this month. Just one word before I start. You know, just be really careful with the vintages at BC liquor stores. They do have some things on sale, but the vintages aren't great. And for some regions, a vintage is really important. And so really just watch vintages when you buy wines at BC liquor store, because there are a variety of vintages that are sold at different liquor stores. First recommendation is Trimbach 2020 Riesling. I love Alsace wines. The Riesling from Alsace isn't as sweet as the BC Rieslings, so it's kind of an off-dry. Price this month from $37.99 to $34.99. 89 points. Wine Spectator. Really great drinking wine. Pairs very well with seafood and always gives you a very consistent product. If you see my upcoming Bordeaux 2020 release, I do mention this wine. It's actually the 2008 St. Pierre from St. Julien region, fourth growth wine, $145, 95 point Wine Spectator. You won't get a better deal with the 2020 release, so why line up and things like that when you can just grab a bottle of this, which is excellent wine and ageable, great rating, and also you've got 2 extra years of aging that you haven't had to pay for because BC Liquor Stores has basically stored it for you. So I think this is a great buy for Bordeaux hunters. Next wine is one of my favorite value producers from Italy. It's Allegrini. It's their Palazzo della Torre. It's an IGT wine from the Veneto region. It's the 2018 vintage, great vintage. Reduced from $29.99 to $26.99 this month. The region is mostly known for Valpolicella and also for Amarone, but this has a little bit of Sangiovese in it. So it's IGT wines, Corvina, Corvone, Rondinella, which are local grapes in that area with a little bit of Sangiovese. Great drinking wine, great food wine, goes perfectly with Italian pasta dishes, and really an all-purpose wine that you can drink at any time. Chianti Classico has always produced wines with great value, but I think with global warming, just the grapes and the region is getting better and better. And so even Chianti Classico wines are really, really good. So this is the wine from Baron Ricasoli, and it's his Broglio wine 2020. I think it's 90-point Wine Spectator. Again, it is on sale this month from $29.99 to $26.49. Everyday drinking wine, great with food, good acidity, lots of tannins, lots of structure. So again, a great food wine, and not really difficult to understand. It's just popping open and really enjoyable. Next wine is from Villa Maria. It is a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's priced at $29.99, reduced to $25.49. Villa Maria is known as a value producer from New Zealand, and this is a single vineyard Sauvignon Blanc from Taylor's Pass Vineyard, which is located on the northern bank of the Awatere River in southern Marlborough. So kind of an interesting kind of mid-level, midpoint Sauvignon Blanc, and really interesting to taste a single vineyard Sauvignon Blanc. Viewers of my channel know that I prefer quality producers that have a long track record, but once in a while you've got to take a chance on something and try something a little different. Though this one kind of piqued my interest. This is a Shiraz. This is a 2020 Shiraz from Miles from Nowhere. So this is a producer. It was founded in 2007 by the Tate family, who arrived from Australia from the Ukraine over 100 years ago, and it felt like Miles from Nowhere. That's where the name came from. They've been working in the industry since 1986, and they want their wineries in Margaret River region. So I just thought it was an interesting story, and you're getting a bit of discount. Looks like a quality producer. $39.99 reduced this month to $26.99. Last one I'm going to recommend is the Volte 2021 Chardonnay Morning Fog Chardonnay. I just thought I'd throw this in because I just reviewed the Ridge Chardonnay, which I really enjoyed, and kind of reminded me how much I like Californian Chardonnay. So this comes from the Central Coast and Livermore Valley, in fact. It is aged, I think, 50% in oak, and then it's got a bit of Gewürztraminer. I think 95% Chardonnay and then 5% of Gewürztraminer that brings up that little bit of acidity. So interesting blend, and you know, nice wine for the price. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.